As you guys come in, don't forget to subscribe. So, welcome to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on in the world, what everyone is actually talking about. Things, but like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate everyone for being here. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Second video for today. Yesterday, I guess there were some internet issues. Everybody was buffering. Some were getting kicked out, some were not. If they went live earlier, they had a better live. If you went live midday, mid afternoon, some were having concerns depending on what stream or services you were using. I was using YouTube. So if YouTube was having issues, I don't know. But we're gonna get into hot topics, trending topics, what's going on, what's being talked about. I'm hearing different things, and that's why I'm coming back. Some are saying his team is trying to get a pardon. Some are saying his team are trying to say that's not true. So he did file for him to have an appeal, but some are saying people that are putting out the information, because I gotta talk about it. They're saying people that put out, oh, he's supposed to get out in 48 hours. Oh, he's supposed to get out in 24 hours. Oh, there's a Diddy watch being released. Now, TMZ, I guess, put it out, and now people are saying Trump's not considering it. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the news. But just give me a few seconds to go ahead and do my disclaimer. Got to protect the page. So I am seeing different things that is possibly being reported from the White House that they're not now considering. They don't know how that got out. So a lot's being said right now. So let me get my disclaimer in, and then we're going to get straight into the videos. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So I hope you get a good kiki today. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the videos. And then like the video. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Let's get into the clips.
For Sean Diddy Combs following his prison sentence. The disgraced music mogul will be under a supervised release for 5 years after he gets out from behind bars. The requirements include mandatory participation in a domestic violence program. He also won't be allowed to contact any of the victims in the case or, quote, encourage anyone else to contact them. This all comes as Diddy is currently serving a 4-year prison sentence at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. NBC News legal analyst Angela Senadella joins us now. Angela, good to have you here on set. So what else are we learning about the conditions of Sean Combs' release? And is this all pretty par for the course, pretty standard?
Yeah, so look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised, or visits, drop-in visits from probation officers at any time, mandatory employment. So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs. And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but also drug abuse and also mental health. The reason why it's so notable is because we all remember the defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
Can you tell us a little bit about his living conditions? Because I know that he's currently in Brooklyn, but he's actually asked to be moved to a federal facility. Why? What would that do to his living conditions?
Okay, so very specifically, he's requesting to be moved to Fort Dix, to a low security prison. So that would very much ameliorate, improve his living conditions from where he is in Brooklyn. So this low security prison is more like a dorm-like setting, and also has a specific drug abuse treatment program that he's requesting to be a part of. And sometimes people who go through this program successfully can get time off at the end.
Well, Angela, we also know that Diddy is going to be required to work 30 hours a week upon his release. Do we know if that's like, he can just do whatever he wants? He's the owner, obviously, of a company, CEO, or is this something that the state or the courts are going to mandate?
So this is interesting. It is pretty standard, and the legal language is work conscientiously at suitable employment. So it doesn't mean that the government can tell him what job to do, but it does mean that the probation officer can veto what he chooses. And the real point here is access and rehabilitation and not a lot of free time, requiring structure. So given that his employment is generally self-employment and a lot of free time, it's not clear here how the probation officer will respond to that, what sort of restrictions they will put. But yeah, the probation officer can say, this is not okay, too much free time on your hands.
Angela, how often are these transfer requests approved?
So it's certainly case by case. It's not something that happens all the time, and the court would look at a lot of things, like, for example, what sort of risk does he pose, what sort of risk exists at that center, and really the goal here is whether or not he will be rehabilitated enough in a security setting, or if something more higher security is required.
When are we expecting that decision?
It should be pretty soon, given the request was just given.
Okay. All right, Angela Senadella, thank you as always.
Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in. We're just doing some news update on what's being talked about regards to Diddy, what's going to happen, what's going to transpire. If he does not get a pardon, then everyone needs to know what he's up ahead.
To analyze the judge's decision. Royal, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
So a 15-month sentence, but then also the judge imposed the maximum fine. Are you at all surprised?
Well, it is a little surprising because as tough as the judge was on Combs and talking about how he abused his power and he drove 2 women to near suicide, he actually gave far less than the government wanted. They wanted a tick over 11. Well, the probation department, they wanted 5 to 7 years. And actually, by giving him a little bit more than 4 years, what that translates to, Annabelle, is that he gets credit for time served. That's 14 months. If he keeps his nose clean in prison, he gets 8 months more off. He could walk free February 2028.
All right, so here's something. So now that we talked about the sentence, Combs had asked the judge for mercy. He asked for a second chance. The judge, though, however, saying this was your second chance, is saying, quote, where is that here? He could have had a much longer sentence. What does that tell you?
What that tells you is that this judge was really being hard on Combs because Combs has expressed remorse at various times, but then allegedly he just went back to doing it again. I mean, in a way, of course, Combs is lucky. If that jury had convicted him on either sex trafficking or racketeering in July, he could be going away for life. Instead, he's going to be going away just for a couple of years. A weird thing happened. The prosecution said today, well, Your Honor, Combs has already booked half a dozen speaking engagements down in Florida on the assumption that you're going to spring him today. And that shocked everybody. The defense lawyers got up and said, well, Your Honor, we hoped you would release him today. And he wants to speak to inmate groups and community groups. But it was not a good look for Sean Diddy Combs.
You know, going back to him being sentenced, though, and do we know where he's going to meet that sentence?
You know, the Bureau of Prisons now gets to control it. Doesn't matter what the judge wants. Doesn't matter what Sean Diddy Combs wants. The Bureau decides, what about security? A high-profile guy. What about his medical needs? Where does his family live? Where did he live before being arrested? Bottom line, Annabelle, there are 2 candidates. He will probably go either to Terminal Island in San Pedro or Lompoc. One of those 2 are the most likely places where he will do his prison time.
What are his options now?
Well, number 1 option is get that appeal going. Sean Diddy Combs is going to be arguing that the prostitution statute was never intended for some sort of a weirdo performance art freak-off. It was intended for a brothel and pimps and johns and so on, and therefore the judge allowed a misapplication of the law.
And his legal matters are far from over.
Oh, yeah, he's got civil suits coming out of his ears. He's already settled for millions of dollars. He's got a big target on his back as a result of this conviction. So, yeah, he's got plenty of legal troubles, but let's face it, he has to be breathing a sigh of relief that he first avoided life in prison, and now he could be getting out in early 2028.
All right, Royal Oaks.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Let's hear what TMZ has to say. Because people were calling TMZ out because many were saying they're the ones that put out the alleged release in regards to him being possibly released by Trump. So let's hear what they have to say. Many pages are calling out TMZ. I can't confirm or deny if the White House is meeting, not meeting. I can't confirm or deny if TMZ got the scoop prior to a lot of people. But let's get to that.
Round 2, because I can't wait for this. Actually, I'm not the biggest baseball fan. I really Trump is vacillating about whether or not to commute Diddy's sentence. They deny it. The White House denies it. But we know for a fact, sources have told Trump is basically weighing it up right now.
Can you do vacillating definition?
Going back and forth.
Okay, thank you.
Back and forth,
Thank you.
back and forth.
Okay.
And ultimately, our source says it'll be up to Trump. It's up to nobody. It's not up to the White House. It's not up to any of the people. It's up to Trump. And so whatever he says goes,
Correct.
obviously.
Correct. So we put this story up, I think, last night around 6 p.m. And we're not saying that, like you said, he's considering. We're not saying we know one way or the other. And what we're being told are that some of the White House staff is urging him to do this.
Why would they be doing that? Why would they be saying
Why
that?
would they not want to? Because
What difference does it make at this point? What difference does it make?
What do you mean? What difference?
Oh, he pardoned Diddy. Now I'm not MAGA anymore.
Well, I just feel like that there's probably people in his team that are like, hey, this guy is a bad guy and did some terrible things.
And
So
Alleged.
I mean, technically, like, this isn't like the Chrisleys who committed white collar crimes and like did like tax evasion or whatever it was. This guy has been accused of some really terrible things.
Yes, he has.
Well, I think it does. Clearly, it does to some of his staffers. So basically, we put this story out, right? And then we wake up this morning, and the White House released an on-the-record statement about this story. Wow. There is zero truth to the TMZ report, which we would have gladly explained had they reached.
Now listen very carefully. The White House is making a statement to clear their name because of what TMZ put out. This is very important because remember how it came out. So I got to clear my page. It came out 20. He'll be out within this week. He'll be out in 48 hours. He'll be out in 24 hours. Now let's listen again. The White House made a statement
that some of the White House staff is urging him, do not do this.
Why would they be doing that? Why would they be saying?
Why would they not want to? Because
what difference does it make at this point? What difference does it make?
What do you mean? What difference?
Oh, he pardoned Diddy. Now I'm not MAGA anymore.
Well, I just feel like that there's probably people in his team that are like, hey, this guy is a bad guy and did some terrible things.
And
so. I mean,
but,
technically, like, this isn't like the Chrisleys who committed white collar crimes and like did like tax evasion or whatever it was. This guy has been accused of some really terrible things.
Doesn't matter, bro.
Well, I think it does. Clearly it does to some of his staffers. So basically, we put this story out, right?
Here it is.
And then we wake up this morning and the White House released an on the record statement about this story. Wow. There is zero truth to the TMZ report, which we would have gladly explained had they reached out before running their fake news. The president, not anonymous sources, is the final decider of partisan communications. The second part makes no sense. We never said he wasn't. Obviously,
right.
They're just stating a fact.
What are they? So they're saying
they are saying there is zero truth to the TMZ report. Our report said that he was going back and forth on whether or not he was going to commute Diddy's sentence. So
he's not.
Well, the only thing that they're basically saying, and if you just read the statement, they're saying there's zero truth. So he maybe has a decision one way or the other.
Maybe he's decided he will commute.
Exactly. So it's weird. I mean,
and also we not only stand by the story. It's true. The story we reported is true. Trump is vacillating whether or not to commute Diddy's sentence.
And it's like, I know you're on the side of you think that he for sure is going to.
I personally, I'll be shocked if he didn't.
Because he does want to stick it to the New York, whatever it is, that court. It's the same court that was going after Diddy were the ones that were prosecuting him.
And the same lead prosecutor.
So I do get him being petty like that and being like, hey, I'm going to stick it to these people who, were out to get me. As he could maybe think, hey, they're just out to get another very high profile famous person and unjustly prosecute them. So I could see that. I mean, at this point, does he have any rhyme or reason? Like he freed the Chrisleys, freed George Santos, and it's just because he wanted to. He doesn't really have to give reasoning.
He doesn't, but I mean, Diddy hasn't, or his family members haven't been wearing the MAGA hat.
They haven't done the MAGA hat,
which surprises me.
And Diddy has never really publicly praised Trump or made it a thing like you guys are doing to me exactly what you did to the president. I feel like if he would have made one of those plays, it would be far more likely.
Well, at the moment, as it stands on a betting website,
you're a gambling addict.
Well, I just looked up because there is a.
First off, how is he to wear a hat in jail? Are y'all catching that? How is he to wear a hat in jail? So they're trying to clear their name right now. I'm going to be very clear. TMZ been called out last month, this month. TMZ is being called out about the Diddy Trump situation. TMZ was called out about the Charlie Kirk situation. Remember when they were live and they were clapping about something? We don't know. But why not put out the video the team was clapping about? TMZ is being called out. I get stuff from them, but I get stuff from Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood Unlocked. If I see stuff from TMZ, I'm cautious. They do get some tips. They have people that look to them to put out a narrative. That's why I'm cautious about putting out stuff from TMZ. When did I notice? They work strongly with certain celebrities to push out a narrative. Certain celebrities want their narrative pushed out there, but then if you do media and you see media, it's like, that's not what's going on. You're lying. You're lying. We see you're lying. You want this narrative put out. Celebrities love media attention. They love clicks and views. They want their narrative be put out there to make them look good because they have these brands and they want the brand deals. So I'm playing this because it's important to know where a lot of people are cautious about TMZ. Let's get this straight. They may get 95% of stuff right, but then there's that 5% you question. I'll say that 95%, but there's that 5% you question. Are they doing it because they're friends with those people? They're cool with those people, or some people have benefits in working with TMZ. Let's continue though. Fair use reaction clip.
1% chance that Trump commutes Diddy's sentence this week.
So you just placed a major wager?
No.
1% chance.
Okay, let me just see my hair real quick.
Please hit subscribe. Let's let the commercial go past. Please hit the subscribe. Fair use reaction clip. Let's go. We'll see what happens. If he does it, he does.
I don't think those odds are likely, or I don't think those are correct because I feel like it should be 50-50.
I feel like it should be too. That's why you got to put your life savings on.
Yeah. no more betting.
Saying that he's considering it. Like, that's not a crazy stretch. I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Yeah, and we had reported previously that his people in his camp had spoken to people in Trump's camp. We did this a couple weeks ago.
Trump raised that. Unprompted.
Oh yeah, and then Trump talked about it and said, yeah. So it's clear, like, it's the fact that they're denying. The only denial I can see is if he has made a decision, they just haven't said it.
Right. So he's not vacillating anymore. Is what they meant. He's decided.
Yeah. I don't know. Crazy story though.
Okay. Next story. Kevin Federline, K-Fed, as he's known to.
Okay. So now we're about to get to some Trump news. This is the biggest thing. You also have to be careful because sometimes media will put out a story just to see what the reaction could be. That could have happened too. TMZ works really hard and they were working with talking about the trial. Remember that? They talked about the trial. The judge said he was watching what TMZ was saying and they actually got called out for something. So it could have been that maybe someone in the camp, there might have been a conversation. Well, what do you think now that he's been sentenced? It could have been a general conversation. And one of the people in the room could have said, well, hey, they're talking. It could have been that. It could have been that there was a conversation. But that does not mean that he has pardoned people. He have. And when he said that, he said some things about me. And then the guy said, does that mean a no that you won't pardon? And he said, most likely. But who knows? With everything that's going on, we see that there's highs and lows in regards to the government. We see that there's a lot going on. There's also TMZ is good for putting out a story to distract people too. To distract, to redirect. And we have to understand, Trump was trending last month about the files. Let's be very clear about that. Trump was trending seriously about the files, the signatures, and then the thing with Charlie Kirk unfortunately happened. Let's be very clear about that. And it's unfortunate, and people were like, why didn't his team protect him better if he was getting unwelcoming comments? Why wasn't he in a building and on a microphone or a big screen? If he was getting, and mind you, he was getting unwelcome comments that they didn't want him there. There was a petition out, and then people were saying there wasn't proper security. There was no alleged proper security, alleged no proper check bags. People who could just come in and come out, and not enough alleged police on the campus. So Trump was trending before this thing happened with Charlie Kirk. Let's be very clear about that. Go back and look at what was happening. They were talking about the signatures, and more and more and more was going to come out. Not saying, but the narrative has been changed. Clearing up the wars. People may not get food stamps. They might not, they're changing how Section 8 is happening. You may have only 2 years of Section 8 alleged. If you've been on there for 2 years, you might have to relocate. There's been information that they may want people to refile for food. That might be what's happening too. In regards to the food, I listened to, and I might play it here. I listened to a lady that talked about, a lot of people knew that there was going to be changes. You got to work so many hours at a certain age. If you have so many children, There's rules and regulations. And allegedly they're giving people 3 months before a lot of the changes are going to happen. I think those changes were supposed to happen a certain amount of time. And now it's immediately happening. So they may have people refile. If you weren't supposed to get it, you probably might get cut off in November and you're to refile. They might have been trying to have people refile because remember, every 6 months people have to refile allegedly. Or every 6 months. So with the food stamp situation, they're giving people a small grace period, which is 3 months. But we might already be within the 3 months, and everything's supposed to happen in November. Remember, certain people were getting stamps that should not have been getting stamps. So for them to, and then some of the, got to remember too, he's talking about certain programs he's not bringing back. He's talking about certain programs he's not bringing back. Fake news, who are you? I listen to the news a lot. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm about to play some of this for you. Wrong page. Go do your thing on your page. Go do your thing on your page. I listen to the news. I don't be listening to just general people that's running their mouth. I don't do fake news because I listen to the news. You'll notice my stuff don't come from other media people. It comes from the news. Fake, you the one. Go do your page. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. So I get my stuff from the news. So call the news a lie. Let's see. Okay. Hold on one second.
Michigan.
Like the videos you guys come in. And see, that's the other thing too. People don't want you to be great. They don't want you to proper news. Let's go to the news, y'all. Let's continue.
Healthcare costs. You've been articulate about it. You fought long and hard about it. But you alone also have, for example, nearly 700,000 people on food stamps just in your state. You just heard what Kevin had to say. SNAP benefits, missed paychecks. What do you tell those people if they come to you and say, basically what the Republicans are saying, pass the funding bill now with no strings attached, worry about the ACA subsidies later. I need this stuff now.
Well, Chris, I don't want to see the shutdown go on. And that's why I, together with my Democratic colleagues in the Senate, have voted 7 times now to reopen the government, but without giving Donald Trump that blank check. A whole lot of damage to federal employees in the country even before the shutdown. I mean, remember Elon Musk and his chainsaw, and they did a huge amount of damage in their so-called big, beautiful bill, which was beautiful for billionaires, but not for others. And when they extended the tax cuts for billionaires, the one tax cut that they did not extend was that helps middle-class Americans afford their health care. They've left this ticking time bomb, and we want to defuse it, and that's what I'm hearing from my constituents as well.
So there are a couple of proposals out there I want to ask you about. Let me start with Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson, who said today he's proposing a bill to give a paycheck to anyone who's been forced to work through the shutdown. Would you support that?
Well, I support making sure all federal employees get paid during the shutdown. This shutdown was not caused by them, and none of them should be punished for it. If you selectively say, well, we're just going to pay the people that Donald Trump wants to pay, then Donald Trump will keep the shutdown going on forever. So we need to make sure that we provide relief. I would propose that we provide relief to federal employees across the board, since they have nothing to do with the political stalemate that's going on Capitol Hill. They should not be penalized.
And then you have Senator Thune saying there should be a new CR. We mentioned this at the top of the show, that would fund the government into December, maybe even into next year, in order to give you guys more time to negotiate. Does that make sense to you? Would you support that?
Well, I don't think that we should be reopening the government and not dealing with these fundamental questions, not giving Donald Trump, we don't want to give Donald Trump a blank check, again, to continue his lawless activities. And we want to address these healthcare issues. So if Senator Thune was serious about this, he wouldn't be down at the White House whining and dining and patting themselves on the back during the middle of a government shutdown. He'd be actually working with us to resolve this. And as you reported earlier, the president is totally AWOL. I mean, the president is negotiating the Middle East. He's given his pal in Argentina $20 billion of taxpayer dollars, but he's not negotiating to make sure that we can reopen the United States government.
So I guess what you're saying is you don't have much use for this lunch at the White House. Is it a sign, though, Senator, that this isn't likely to end soon? Because do you see any scenario under which this gets settled without Donald Trump signing off on it?
Oh, I think Donald Trump has to sign off on this. I mean, Donald Trump is the only Republican that counts right now in the federal government, because we see Republican members of Congress simply doing his bidding. He says jump, they say how high. But there is some evidence that the president recognizes that when Americans see their health care costs go through the roof, he recognizes that's not a good thing for Republicans or Democrats. At least I would hope that would be his conclusion. You know, the majority of states that are most impacted are Republican states. Democrats want to help people regardless of the political leanings of the state. Donald Trump wants to punish Democrats for trying to get health care costs down for everybody, and certainly to prevent this explosion in costs. So, as you know, there are some Republican members of the House especially who have already said this is really stupid for Republicans not to fix this problem. And it really is stupid, both politically, but most of all because of the harm it does to the American people.
We've been asking throughout the entirety of this what the tipping point is going to be. And do you think it will be higher health care costs? I think you were listening when Kevin Fry was reporting that he's talked to a number of Republicans and Democrats who seem to be surprised, indicating that they're getting fewer calls, less pushback than they did in previous shutdowns. Is that going to be the one thing that pushes it over?
Well, we're certainly hearing in our office from people who were upset at their healthcare costs going up because notices went out in Maryland and people are seeing a doubling and in some cases a tripling of their health care costs. And we estimate over 100,000 Marylanders are going to lose their health insurance altogether because they simply can't afford those higher costs. That's going to continue. That's going to become more and more intense. I just wish, Republicans and the President of the United States would not wait until it gets even more painful for people and people have even more uncertainty in their lives. We could solve this today and support the legislation that we put forward.
Well, Politico reports that there are discussions underway about how to get out of this. And they say one option is, I'm quoting here, pair a 2-year extension of those scaled-back subsidies with some other conservative healthcare policy provisions and then attach it to some of the annual spending bills that have so far been stuck in partisan limbo. Do you see a world in which there could be that kind of compromise?
Chris, the way to get to a compromise is for the President of the United States, for Donald Trump, to agree to sit down and negotiate. I mean, I could come up with a dozen different ideas or possibilities, but none of them are relevant until Donald Trump decides to sit down with Democrats and reopen the government and address these other issues, including the skyrocketing healthcare costs that are upon us.
So let me ask you, and we'll let you go, and I appreciate all of your time. How many calls are you getting? What has been the response from your constituents?
We're getting hundreds of calls a day.
And is that more than you would normally get in a day?
Oh, I'm talking about 100 calls on this issue.
Just that, okay.
Specifically on this issue. It goes up or down. Senator Ulsterbrooks and I had a telephone town hall, I think it was last week, where we had 15,000 of our fellow Marylanders on the line. And the overwhelming sentiment that we heard was, yes, reopen the government, but by God, don't give Donald Trump a blank check to continue his lawless activity and address this ticking time bomb on healthcare in America. And so that's the message that we heard from our constituents. And I'll bet you that a lot of Republicans are getting that message from their constituents as well, whether they fess up to it or not.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, thanks so much.
Like the video, fair use. Let's continue. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. There's about 202 in the building.
And what I found is honestly concerning.
Let's continue of what's going on in regards to the government and the news. So everybody kind of understand what's happening.
And it's happening way sooner than you think. Now, there's a lot of misinformation flying around social media right now, so I read through the actual federal policy documents so you don't have to. And what I found is...
Like the video, be kind in the comments. I'm on one today. I'll time you out. I'm not playing. Go on your own page and be negative. Let's get this information out to these people that need it.
Honestly concerning. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't about work requirements like everyone's talking about. This is about state error rates and the federal government cracking down hard on states that have been making too many mistakes. Hey friends, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about helping you navigate government benefits, understand policy changes before they hit your wallet, and figure out how to protect yourself when Washington makes big moves. And trust me, this is a big move. Look at this headline. SNAP benefits will soon be tied to error rates. These states are in the biggest trouble. Only 8 states, that's right, 8T, would receive full funding if this went into effect today. That means 42 states are scrambling right now to fix their error rates or face massive funding cuts. And guess who ultimately pays the price? You do. Before we dive into which states are affected and what this means for your family, let me tell you about something that could help. So here's what's going on, and I need you to pay close attention because this is not what you've been hearing on social media. The federal government has told states, stop making so many mistakes or lose funding for food assistance. Starting with fiscal year 2028, which actually begins October 1st, 2027, states with an error rate higher than 6% will start losing federal funding for SNAP. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's 2027, I've got time. But here's the problem. States have to start making changes now to get their error rates down by then. That means cuts could start happening as early as this year or next year. Let me read you what the Congressional Budget Office estimates. States will end up...
Good afternoon. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe. There's about 180 in the building. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Reducing or eliminating benefits for about 300,000 people. Subsidies through child nutrition programs could also decrease by about 96,000 children. 300,000 people, 96,000 children. Those aren't just statistics. Those are real families who could lose food assistance. Let me show you the actual numbers because this is eye-opening. The federal government set the threshold at 6%. Let me tell you where states actually are. Alaska, 24.66% error rate. That's the highest in the nation. Just to give you perspective, their error rate the year before was 60%. They've improved, but they're still way above the threshold. States in serious trouble. Georgia, 15.65%. Florida, asterisk, 15.13%. New Mexico, 14.61%. Oregon, asterisk, 14.06%. New York, 14.09%. States still over the line, California, 10.98%. Now everyone talks about California giving away free food, right? But they're still double the federal threshold. Texas, 8.32%. Even Texas, which you'd think would be running a tight ship, is over. Louisiana, 6.62%. Washington State, 6.06%. The few states doing well, Idaho, 3.59%. South Dakota, asterisk, 3.28%. Wisconsin, asterisk, 4.47%. Vermont, asterisk, 5.13%. Only 8 states total would receive full funding if this policy took effect today. Let that sink in. So what does error rate even mean? The error rates include both overpayments and underpayments. But here's the thing. Overpayments are far more common. That means states have been giving people more money than they're actually eligible for. Now this is where it gets really concerning for you personally. Let's talk about what this actually means for your benefits. There are essentially 3 groups of people who are going to be affected. Group 1, people who will lose benefits entirely. These are the 300,000 people the CBO mentioned. These are folks who probably shouldn't have been eligible in the first place, based on the strict federal guidelines. But state errors let them slip through. When states audit their rolls to reduce error rates, these people will get cut completely. Group 2, people who will see major benefit reductions. This is probably the biggest group, and you might be in it without even knowing. Let me explain with an example. Let's say you've been getting $400 a month in SNAP benefits, but when the state audits your case, they realize you're only eligible for $300. You've been receiving that extra $100 every month for the past year. Here's the scary part. The Trump administration is not telling states, oh, well, that was our mistake, don't worry about it. No. They're saying that overpayment needs to be paid back. Group 3, people who will face benefit clawbacks.
Wow.
This is where it gets really tough. Let's say you were getting $400, but should have been getting $300. That's $100 a month overpayment. Over 12 months, that's $1. $200 the state overpaid you. They're going to want that money back. How are they going to get it back? Most likely, they're going to reduce your future benefits. So instead of getting that $300 you're actually eligible for, you might only get $200 or $250 for several months while they recoup the overpayment.
Wow.
The exact percentage will be up to each state to decide. Here's what people keep missing. Yes, fiscal year 2028 starts October 1st, 2027. That's when states officially have to be under that 6% error rate, or start losing federal funding. But states can't wait until 2027 to start fixing this. They have to start making changes now. That means
Something I find incredibly chic, custom hair.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. I told y'all there's a lot going on. People didn't even know if you were getting too much, they're going to recoup some of that back. Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Let's continue. There's about 171 in the building. Please hit subscribe, you guys. Please hit subscribe. I've had a very long day, and I'm bringing you guys this content because I think people need to know and families need to know what's going on. Like the video.
That's when states officially have to be under.
So sometimes, even when I'm at appointments doing stuff, I have to say stuff to know what I'm talking about. Let's continue. Fair use. Let's get the likes up, y'all. 121 in the building. There's been about 5,000 in the building. You guys got to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. I've been going nonstop since 7 o'clock this morning. Busy day. Let's get the likes up. YouTube makes it easy. All you got to do is double tap the screen to hit the like, or hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Thumbs up above the video, below the video. Most people are watching from a phone, so it's just a double tap. To hit the like is free.
That 6% error rate, or start losing federal funding. But states can't wait until 2027 to start fixing this. They have to start making changes now. That means 2025, 2026. States will be auditing cases, tightening eligibility, and potentially starting to reduce or eliminate benefits for people who don't meet strict guidelines. 2027. Final push to get error rates down before the deadline. 2028. If states still haven't fixed their error rates, they'll have to cover 5 to 15% of SNAP costs themselves. States with especially high error rates, like Alaska and Georgia, have until 2030 to comply. But that doesn't mean they're not going to start cutting benefits now. And there's another wrinkle to this. As of right now, the federal government is in a shutdown situation. What does that mean for your benefits? Come November 1st, your SNAP benefits could be delayed. That's a separate issue from the error rate problem, but it's another thing you need to be aware of. Here's what's really driving this. The Trump administration has made it clear they believe states have been abusing federal funding for the past 4 years. The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is still actively looking for what they call waste, fraud, and abuse in federal programs. SNAP is just one program under the microscope. The administration is adamant that states need to return funding that's been misused. And President Trump has made it clear he's not done going after money he says the federal government is owed. This means SNAP is just the beginning. Other assistance programs are going to face similar scrutiny. Let me be specific about who needs to be most concerned. If you live in these states, pay extra attention. Alaska, Georgia, Florida, New Mexico, Oregon, New York, California, Texas. If you're in any of these situations, your income fluctuates month to month. You recently had a change in household composition. You've been on benefits for several years without re-verification. You receive other benefits that might affect SNAP eligibility. Your case hasn't been reviewed recently. The people most at risk are those whose cases might not have been properly verified, or who might be receiving slightly more than they're eligible for due to reporting errors or outdated information. Okay, I don't want to leave you completely panicked. Let me share some things that could help. First, if you're currently receiving the correct benefit amount based on accurate information, you should be okay. The states are primarily targeting errors, not people who are legitimately eligible. Second, you have appeal rights. If your benefits get reduced or eliminated, and you believe it's wrong, we get it. You work hard.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Let's continue. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Can I get 50 people to double tap that screen to get the like? The like should match the views. 50 people to hit the like button. Let's go.
Cold medicine.
We all want you to feel better.
I want
50 people to hit the like button. Let's go. Fair use reaction clip. Let's continue.
If it's wrong, you have the right to appeal the decision. You typically have 90 days to file an appeal. Third, there are other food assistance programs that aren't tied to SNAP. Food banks, community meal programs, and local assistance programs can help fill gaps. Fourth,
That's true. He has done a lot in this administration, but then there's a lot of cuts to stuff that it's almost like he has to pull it back because some people got stuff they shouldn't have got. And then it's hitting everybody. He's done a lot. And when people talk about that, I talk about the good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. He's done more than most have done in an 8-year period. He's done more than most have done in a 10-year period. But then there's situations where he has to pull it back for people to refile. And that's what's getting everybody.
being proactive can protect you. Update your information now before they audit your case.
Him calming down a lot of this war stuff is very interesting. There's a lot that's going on, though.
Here's your action plan, and I'm serious. Do this as soon as possible. Step 1. Verify your benefit amount is correct. Log into your state.
Also, remember 2 weeks ago, he had talked about giving people $1,000 or $2,000. I don't know if that's still going to happen. I haven't heard anybody get that $1,000 or $2,000 in regards to the tariff situation. We'll keep an eye on that. So we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on in the news, just to kind of update people. We'll see what happens, but there is a lot going on. You have to admit.
State's benefits portal or call your local office. Ask them to review your case and confirm you're receiving the correct amount based on your current situation. If there's an error, it's better to catch it now than have them catch it later and demand repayment. Step 2, update all your information. If your income changed, if someone moved out of your household, if anything changed, report it now. Yes, it might reduce your benefits.
You got to admit, some of these cities are getting cleaned up of the crimes too. You can't ignore that. Some of these cities have had huge issues, and a lot of it has calmed down. So that in itself is a lot. Fair use reaction clip.
But it's better than facing a clawback later. Step 3, keep documentation. Save all your notices. Keep records of your reports and document every interaction with your SNAP office. If there's a dispute later, you'll need this. Step 4, check your state's error rate. Look at that list I shared. If your state has a high error rate, over 10%, expect more aggressive.
Oh, and if y'all think I'm on that side, I'm not. I just bring y'all the news. Don't think I'm not okay what happened at the Capitol. Don't think I'm not okay what's happening with different cultures and races and different things like that. Don't think I'm not happy about what was some of the statues being taken down, some of the pictures being taken down. Some of that stuff's not okay. It's in our face. So don't think I'm cool with everything that's happening. I'm not, but I'm going to update y'all on what needs to be talked about for the people. I cover it all, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And I'm keeping stuff where it's talking about the good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Real talk. Removing stuff, taking stuff out of schools. Certain stuff is not cool. It's almost like I'm going to wipe it away because I don't want it there in my face. I'm going to wipe it away because this is what I want y'all to do or say. There's so much that's going on. And so many cultures and races have been affected by certain decisions. But cleaning up certain cities of crime, that's a good thing, period. People should be able to walk around town, do what they need to do. Some of these young adults were getting so out of hand, stealing cars, just coming up to you and just wanting your shoes. A girl on a bus just doing her own thing. You got to be careful when you out and about, and you got to watch your surroundings. Some of these kids are getting out of control and their parents aren't talking to them. It's disgusting what some of these young adults are doing. Grown adults are doing. People driving Uber, people stealing cars, people breaking into cars, missing children. Don't even get me started. There's still so many missing children that's happening. So I cover what I can.
Of auditing and be extra careful about keeping your information current. Step 5. Build a backup plan. Start identifying food banks and other resources in your area now. Have a plan for how you'll feed your family if benefits get reduced.
Right.
I know that sounds harsh, but being prepared is better than being caught off guard. Step 6. Look into other programs. Are you eligible for WIC? What about free or reduced school meals for your kids? What about senior food programs if you're over 60? Don't put all your eggs in the SNAP basket. Look, I need to be honest with you about something. There's a lot of political...
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Please, please, and thank you. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. 100 people still in here. Double tap the screen. If you already hit like, thank you. If you already hit subscribe, thank you.
Other people say the error rates are mostly technical mistakes and reporting issues, not fraud. The truth? It's probably both. Yes, there are some cases of actual fraud. But there are also a lot of cases where people made honest mistakes, didn't understand the rules, or where the state made data entry errors.
The other thing that needs to be corrected with the state and DHS is people should be able to have a savings. They should be able to have $1,000 or $2,000. Sometimes they don't even want you to have $200, $300. You'll try, and my friend tried to get help with a bill, but she hadn't paid her other bills. So certain things, a person should be able to have a decent savings to get assistance and help. You shouldn't have to be poor to show it in their eyes. That shouldn't happen. People should be able to have somewhat of a savings or fallback. Some of my friends, whenever they have car insurance, DHS doesn't even look at that. If they have a car and car insurance they pay out, they don't even look at that. Why? It's something you have to have insurance. You have to have car insurance, period. But they don't even look at that. The car payment, car insurance, they don't even consider that. So when she needed help and she was going to pay her rent, pay her bills, she didn't have much of a savings. They did not help her. So sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes the funds aren't there either. Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
But here's what matters for you. Regardless of whether the error was fraudulent or innocent, if you've been overpaid, the state is likely going to want that money back. Fair or not, that's the reality we're dealing with. I cannot stress this enough. If there's even a possibility that you're receiving more benefits than you're eligible for, you need to address it now. Don't wait for them to catch it. Yes, it might mean your benefits go down, but that's better than receiving a big overpayment bill later, having future benefits drastically reduced to repay the overpayment, potentially facing fraud charges if they decide the overpayment was intentional. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to protect you. Here's the bottom line. This is real, it's happening, and it's going to affect millions of people. The 2028 deadline isn't as far away as it sounds because states need to start making changes now. If you're in one of those high error states, Alaska, Georgia, Florida, New Mexico, Oregon, New York, California, Texas, be extra vigilant. Your state is under pressure to dramatically reduce errors, which means aggressive auditing and likely benefit cuts. But you're not powerless here. By staying informed, keeping your information current, and being proactive about your case, you can protect yourself from the worst of this. If this video helped you understand what's actually happening with SNAP benefits, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notification.
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Let's continue.
I remember
Like the video. Let's see what's happening as this government shutdown is happening. That's a huge thing too, the government shutdown. Not only are people losing benefits, the government shutdown is a situation that's happening, and many people are talking about they can't agree on stuff. Y'all need to agree. It's affecting people's lives. Hold on one second. Like the video. Let's continue.
Increased frequency of risky events for Section 8 landlord. If the government shutdown does not end, as of November 16th, rent payment checks may stop coming.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Landlord Lens. I am joined by my co-host, Seamus Nally. Seamus, how are you this fine Wednesday?
Doing awesome, John, and I'm super excited to talk about the largest headline we've had for the last 15 days, which is
the government shutdown.
Hold on 1 second. There was the one I wanted to play. Hold on 1 second. Like the videos you guys come in. Let's get straight to what. Okay. Hold on.
They have to qualify. The country's food assistance program, known as SNAP, could be in serious jeopardy in just 2 weeks. This would impact 42 million Americans who rely on the program. Manyi Lee, the director of communications at the Greater Chicago Food Depository, is joining us now. And Manyi, what do you anticipate will be the local impact if we don't get back on the road?
Yeah. So last week, USDA did notify the Illinois Department of Human Services that if the government shutdown continues, it's that they will not be funding SNAP starting in November. And so what that means in Illinois is that 1.9 million people who are on SNAP in Illinois are going to be facing hunger and hardship come November.
If people want to help at home, they hear this news and they're concerned about their neighbors, what can they do?
Yeah, I mean, they can always go onto our website and help support us in a number of ways. Either they can volunteer and come and help us repack food, or help their local pantries as well. They can also donate funds. We are able to stretch the dollar. Every donated dollar that we get, we are able to stretch and make sure that we are able to provide and purchase more meals than the average consumer. And also, they can help us to advocate and let our legislative leaders know that SNAP isn't negotiable, and we really should be trying to do as much as we can to protect it.
If people aren't familiar with how the program works, can you explain it?
Yeah, so basically every month SNAP participants, they're given an EBT card. They have to qualify, and they're able to get SNAP benefits loaded onto their an EBT card, where they can then take it to a grocery store and spend it to purchase vital food nutrition for their families.
I mean, is there not an emergency fund that the state has that they can chip in and just bridge the gap between the work stoppage of the government and until we get federal workers back to work?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can do is that we provide, and we remain committed to providing food and making sure that our pantry partners in the community remain stocked and their shelves remain stocked, so they have enough food. But they are monitoring on the ground all the time the demand for food in the community, and then they place orders with us, and then we satisfy those needs. But right now, we don't know how this is going to impact. We just know that come November the 1st, a lot of SNAP participants are not going to get the funding that they need. Actually, all SNAP participants aren't going to get the funding that they need to afford basic food assistance. And so we really urge them to have a backup plan. Go onto our website, find at chicagosfoodbank.org, find the location of their nearest pantry so that they can come and get free food in this emergency, and we'll do the best we can to satisfy the need.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. I just said, gosh, can't the state step up? So there are also new requirements for SNAP recipients. When do those take effect, and what are the details of that?
Yeah, so the other things that we are contending that were included in the reconciliation bill that was passed earlier this summer is new work requirements. And Illinois' work requirement waiver actually was revoked last week, 3 months early. So that means now, come November, around 450,000 Illinois participants across Illinois could lose their SNAP benefits if they're not able to satisfy work requirements. And that is around working 20 hours a week or 80 hours a month in order to continue receiving their SNAP benefits. And if they're not able to, they only receive 3 months of SNAP benefits in a period of 3 years. So to have their SNAP benefits taken away from them after that.
Okay, Manny, thank you again for your time this morning.
Government at a time when there are important priorities that need to be funded, whether that's air traffic control or TSA or border patrol, law enforcement, our troops, obviously, first and foremost. Those are all very shortly here are not going to get paid if we don't, the government doesn't open up. And I think that's starting to sink in with the American people. The Democrats they're going to own this.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune blasting Democrats for repeatedly voting to keep the government closed as federal workers continue to miss paychecks. Thune is now expected to push a bill this week that would guarantee pay for federal employees and military service members. House Speaker Mike Johnson revealing he would bring the House back if the Senate voted to pay federal workers and members of the military. Meanwhile, President Trump is set to host a high-stakes lunch with Senate Republicans in the Rose Garden today as Senate Democrats fail to pass the bill for the 11th time. Joining me now is the man himself, Louisiana Congressman and Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Speaker, good morning.
Hey, Cheryl, great to be with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. We're in the fourth week of this shutdown, and we've got unpaid federal workers, families that rely on food programs. What do you say to those people, those Americans? Why is the government still closed?
Yeah, those categories that are listed by Leader Thune and yourself and so many others, real Americans are hurting, and it is so frustrating to us, Cheryl, because the contrast here is so clear. Remember, it was over a month ago that the House did our job, and we passed a clean continuing resolution, a totally nonpartisan, 24-page, very simple piece of legislation to just keep the lights on so that Congress could continue to do the work of appropriating the funds for the annual budget and also for navigating all the rest of the issues we have on the table throughout the end of the year. The Democrats voted it down. They've done it now almost a dozen times, as you said, because they're playing partisan games. They filed a counter proposal. Let's not let anybody forget what they filed as their counter offer. Their CR is not a clean one, it's a dirty one, because they want to spend $1.5 trillion new dollars on all sorts of wasteful programs, including $200 billion to fund health care benefits on the backs of American taxpayers for illegal aliens. They want to give $500 million back to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to prop up leftist news organizations. And they want to spend billions of dollars overseas on all sorts of extraneous, crazy kinds of programs. They know we're not going to do that. It's not a serious proposal. This is the first time in history that any party has chosen to shut the government down over a clean CR. They're playing a game, and it's very simple. Here's the reason why. Jeffries, the two leaders in both chambers for the Democrat side, are afraid of their far left flank. They're afraid they're going to get a challenge in New York because Marxism is all the rage, and they're going to lose their seats. So they're putting up a fight. It makes no sense, and real people are getting hurt.
$37 trillion in debt, absolutely agreed, and that is the overlying story here. But in all of this, what is your responsibility to end this?
Hair wash day because you have to watch your hair.
Like the video, like the video. Let's get to some hot topics, trending topics. I'll let you hear what he said. Hold on 1 second.
That I've seen really great people. I mean, I'm watching you and I'm looking at all these great faces that I've seen. Really great people. I think with few exceptions, a couple of you I don't like that much, but with few exceptions, great people. I mean, I'm watching you and I'm looking at all. I mean, I'm watching you and
these pictures of Kim Kardashian's 12-year-old daughter, Northwest, are...
Like the video concerning.
He looks much older than 12. I mean, it looks like a Halloween costume, but it's not. She posted these pictures with these fake tattoos on.
Prayers go out to North. Kim, Kanye got to come together to take care of their family. We're going to get to this Jussie Smollett situation. I'm not going to play the clip. He's basically talking about Bashir. He reaches out to him. He's praying for him. You know, Jussie Smollett has his own thing going on. So that's nice that he's trying to reach out to Bashir Gray. We've seen in different videos, he's had concerns in relationships. There's been a lot going on. So right now, we're just going to do a few hot topics, trending topics. He's basically saying he reached out to his friend's family. You know, if he needed somewhere to stay. Y'all got to remember, that show, certain things were problematic. What was happening, the roles they played. Some shows will be taken down because of what you're putting out. You got that show, you had Power. Certain shows don't show a strong family bond. Now, I can't confirm or deny what happened to Jussie Smollett was factual, not factual. I don't know. I wasn't there. But people spoke out about what happened that night. So it affected Jussie. It affected Taraji P. Henson. It affected Terrence Howard. It affected the whole cast. Not only did get canceled, Empire, the other show that the producer put out, that show got canceled too. So be careful what you do, who you surround yourself by, and celebrities will do certain things for media attention, clicks, and views. I can't confirm or deny what happened with Jussie Smollett. I did do a short in regards to he's still paying alleged attorney fees. That's what he alleged on Candy's podcast. So go check that out. Go check out Candy's podcast. Okay. I'm going to just do some hot topics, trending topics. Kim, Kanye, years ago, Diddy has requested an appeal. We talked about Donald Trump. It's being alleged that Kim is talking about demolishing Kanye West basketball court. They've been separated and divorced for 8, 9 years. She could do that, but it's her house now. She could do whatever she wants if she wants to demolish it. But check out what products she just recently came out. And some of those products very similar to what Bianca was wearing when Kanye brought Bianca out. Check that out. Did she collab with someone to produce what Kanye was trying to put out and he just didn't get a chance to put out? Go look up Kim copies Bianca. Kim copies Bianca a lot. Y'all just don't know. I just haven't had time to do the video yet. Kim has copied Bianca a lot. So there's that. But Kim and the Kardashians want to trend a lot. Will Trump pardon Diddy? Interesting picture. Gotta save that one. Okay. This is interesting. It's being reported that, of course, Diddy got 50 months. This gentleman and what he had going on in regards to, you see the age, I can't say it, he got 6 months. Here nor there, situations with tuition and exploitation should not be happening, period. These men need help and counseling and prayer. And some women do too. Be careful what you get yourself involved in, because you could go to jail. Chris being called out.
Every single one of you that stood up with us and said that Kris Jenner was face tuning, face apping, and photoshopping, we applaud you. Give yourself a pat on the back. We are not stupid. These are all of the photos Kris Jenner has been releasing over the last couple months of her insane facelift, which is an insane facelift, but this is still Photoshop. Skin has pores and Kris Jenner has wrinkles. This is an unrealistic beauty standard and we have been shouting it from the rooftops. This video is so blurry, it doesn't even look human. We love Kris Jenner. It is a great facelift. It did not need all of this blurring out. But even to give people this
really
unrealistic beauty standard of what we can achieve when she still looks amazing.
This
is Kim Kardashian's TV show premiere showing Kris Jenner unedited, unfiltered. She didn't need all of the Photoshop.
Wow. So people were thinking she looked one way, but in reality, she still looks young. So there's that. Kim Kardashian dies. And then recently, they're saying Kim just recently purchased a home that's near her home. I'm not going to show the picture because people may feel that's doxing. So sure. Okay, Kim is calling out pages because it was alleged, we can't confirm or deny, if it's basically saying Northwest says she would choose her dad, Ye, over her mom. Kim is saying that's not true. And I'm wondering if it is now not true, because if y'all seen the list, have you guys seen the list of Kanye's people that he felt betrayed him? Kanye has Kim on the list. Kanye has North on the list. Kanye allegedly feels that North has betrayed him. Did y'all know that? There's a list that Kanye put out. And then check this out. I've been so busy. Kanye put out the first list about 1 or 2 weeks ago. And then Kanye put out another list last week. He has Kim on the list, North on the list. He has many celebrities on that list of who Kanye said he betrayed him. Kanye has his own daughter on the list. So this may not be true that she would choose her father over Kim. Now, you got to remember, Kanye has said stuff about North. North probably didn't want out. We can't confirm or deny what he stated, because he might have been having an episode. So what Kanye says, we take it with a grain of salt, but we can't confirm or deny if he's not close with the children because of the back and forth with him and Kim. And then, did you see the picture that's just posted of North? How do you think Kanye feels about that? What, it's fake tattoos, but North is looking older and older and older. Do you feel, you guys let me know, do you feel that Kim wants North to grow up so fast? There has to be a limit in regards to, she's 12. She's not 16, 17, 18, 19. She's 12. And many people feel she allegedly looks older than her age. Sometimes Kim will put her in Kanye stuff. Sometimes Kim will put her in oversized stuff. Sometimes Kim will put her in outfits that match Kim. And people are like, Kim, slow it down just a little. But you know what? It's Kim and Kanye's child. But people are calling out them, and are they role models? Are they role models? But you also got to see, go back. I don't watch the show. I don't need to. Some people are like, well, how can you speak on it? I see enough clips. I know what's going on. I see what's being talked about. I see the distraction. I see it all. Kim and Kanye have to make a decision what to do for their children. But many people are saying Kim is talking about Kanye. Ooh. So we'll see what happens in regards to, okay, this is the other thing I'm going to talk about. Go back and look at what Bianca wore and what Kim just put out. Go back and look at some of they're similar enough where she had her team change it up a little bit. But Kim has actually been copying Bianca. And you gotta notice too, Bianca don't be on media. So if Kim says something, Bianca's not even gonna correct it. Kanye's quiet right now. People are enjoying it. He's quiet right now. He's not speaking up, he's not speaking out. Kanye is chilling, he's quiet. We can't confirm or deny if Kanye was in a facility. That video was him yelling, yelling at Chris, yelling at Kim, yelling at family members. That's a lot. He wanted those cameras to follow him, probably back then, for protection if somebody said something, did something. But that came out, and now Kim did her sit down. Kim's talking about, you give a care because you're in the comments. Why are you here? You literally sitting here watching and you got time to type. Go cook something. Go do something positive. Don't be over here talking. We don't do that over here. Be kind in the comments. So here nor there. And see, that will come in the comments. They don't want you talking about them, of what's really going on. Go look at what she put out. Remember how back in the day, Kanye would have an issue. And sometimes Kim would post a bathing suit, or she'll do something to kind of distract. I don't need to get information from TMZ because a lot of people feel that TMZ is in their pocket. You remember the days when stuff would go out about Kanye? They rarely talk about Tristan and Scott. Tristan and Scott had a lot going on. I don't need to pull my information from TMZ. I'm very smart, very intelligent, and I'm very bright. I stopped covering a lot of the K's and the J stuff because their voices. I stopped covering certain things, but people need to know what's really, really going on. How Kim portrays North on the show, people have called it out. Her and the Justin Bieber thing, concerning. How she portrays her on the show, concerning. The thing is, the Kardashians are putting the children in the media at a very young age. Some parents will post about their children. So they're probably like, well, why can't we? But they're putting them in the media. Last month, I saw a video in regards to Chloe sitting down with her daughter, which she can, and they were talking about products. These were adult products to use on your skin. And Chloe talked about giving them to Northie and Penelope. They're too young. Alleged doctors, I'm not a doctor, but doctors say young children shouldn't be using adult skincare products. So the Kardashians are pushing products and having the children help. That's on them. But when the product has concerns, or the product is breaking someone out, or the product, you know what I'm saying? She had said she was going to give those products to North and Penelope. They're still too young to even be using products on their skin. Period. Doctors talk about it all the time. Their skin should use stuff for their skin, which is a young adult. The K's and the J's allegedly want them to grow up so fast. Period. They want them to grow up so fast. So if they're going to put him in the media, people are going to conversate. Did you just see the picture of North just now? Did you guys just see the picture of North? And then Kim says, well, other children are wearing this and doing this, but when my child does it, people call her out. Well, yeah, Kim, we've seen how your relationships have gone. Let your daughter have a fair chance of having no media talk about her outfits, her style. And then this is the biggest thing, too. Kanye, how he dresses Bianca, not appropriate. Bianca shouldn't be out there showing her parts to young adults. So I'm not on Kanye's side either. I do not like how Kanye talks about different cultures, race. I don't like it. It's concerning. And it's concerning how he puts his wife out there in public and wearing certain things. So, Kanye in his interview, so concerning. The thing with Pete Davis, concerning. So, can't confirm or deny that, this might have been an older post, nor may not be on her dad's side. Why hasn't Kanye allegedly seen the kids in months? We don't know. We don't know why he hasn't seen the children. But we know that Kanye is not going to be controlled. When Kim had said that when she wakes up, Kanye will get rid of different Lamborghinis. Who's to say he wasn't trying to bless his staff? Who's to say he wasn't trying to bless the people around him? We know why he did what he did. But if that was Kanye's money, that's his business and his money, how he wants to spend it. They're married, but if that was his money that he made, he should be able to do what he wants. She didn't tell us why or who those gifts went to because they said he's a very giving person. He may see somebody struggling and he just wanted to bless somebody. You know what I mean? So there's that. Well wishes. There's a lot going on with the K's and the J's. And this is the other thing. That documentary came out. A lot of people watched it, didn't watch it. They've heard it all. They've seen it all. It was concerning of Kanye yelling at Kim, yelling at Chris. No husband should treat a mother-in-law like that. Never, ever, never. It's not okay for him to yelling, screaming. Now we know Kanye, 20 years ago, doing his music, doing his thing. People loved his music and certain things, didn't like some of the music, but he was on top and he was doing well. Now, struggle bus. Not a doctor. I don't know if he is on medication. Some don't know if he's in a facility. It's no, but I can only imagine what Bianca is going through. Help Kanye West. She has to be going through. She has to be going through a lot. We've seen Kanye, Kim concerning Kim, Ray J being sued. Ray J's being sued because Kim and Chris feel that they've been defamed. You got Kim, Kanye. You got Kim, Ray J, Chris. You got Chloe and Tristan. All the allegations about him. And then back in the day, you had Courtney and Scott concerns. And then you have Chloe and the Lamar concerns and all that he did and went through and put Chloe through. So a lot of people, period, just want to see them in healthy relationships and the children to be able to grow up without being under the microscope. And why is she not making sure she keeps her daughter out of the media from judgment and criticism? Period. Kanye said, don't put my child on TikTok. And she did it anyway. Was she utilizing her to stay relevant? Was she utilizing her to trend and go viral? A mother's going to want to spend time with their child. Yeah. But they're under such a microscope in certain situations. And then Kanye allegedly said, alleged, we can't confirm or deny, go to that school. Where they attend school, there's a private insurance. She doesn't have to put the kids in media. And then two, certain events or award shows, have y'all noticed? She'll come out of a hotel to get pictures. There's other famous people that's going to that same award show. But we getting pictures. You coming out of a hotel, but not other famous people? What's going on with that? I wish, to be honest, I wish he did not have the medical concerns that he has because he seems to be a decent dad when he's around the kids. Remember how when they were playing some sport and the kids just ran to him? The kid is gonna love their father. But if he's having medical concerns, can't confirm or deny what medical concerns those are. But if he's having medical concerns, do you think she should really be doing interviews talking about him, shading him, and talking about what he spent money on right now? Is what she's talking about isn't going to trigger Kanye. But people are saying Kanye gave his documentary and his side went out. Kim's clearing the air, but she's talking about Pete. She's talking about the stuff in regards to Justin Bieber. Remember how Kim, and that's the other thing. Why does it seem like she always blaming everybody else around her but herself? Why would you do that thing regarding Justin Bieber? You're how old? He's how old? Justin Bieber was 16. The photo shoot looked inappropriate. It did not look good. Period. It did not look good. And then she said, who in my team decided that? They traveled to do that photo shoot. Go back and look at the videos of how happy she was doing that video. Concerning. He was 16. You grown is grown. Even if it is a part of a movie, that shouldn't have happened. Period. It should not have happened. It should not have happened. So she talked about Justin. She talked about Kanye. She talked about Pete. Briefly about Tom. But she talked a lot about exes. So there's that. So concerning. There's that. Let's continue. Okay. In regards to Kevin Durant passes LeBron James as the highest paid player in the NBA history. Look at how much these guys are getting paid, and they deserve it. Have you guys ever seen the Netflix special about starting five? Uh, Something about when they won the gold medal. These are some huge salaries. These guys should be proud of themselves. That's a lot of money. Steph Curry. Okay, Kevin Durant's a favorite of mine. LeBron's a favorite of mine. Steph Curry's a favorite of mine. Um, uh, that's a lot of these guys love it. Davison. This guy right here, number 8. I just kind of learned about him. I knew about Tatum, pretty good, but he's a beast too. So this list is a pretty good list. Is there more? This is Kevin. Picture of him vacuuming up the money. But that's huge, you guys, in regards to their salaries. Okay, I have some stuff going on, work being done at the house. I literally have to go. But I had to go live, give you guys some content because yesterday the system was buffering. Today I needed to do this to kind of keep me in the algorithm in a decent way. So thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for being here. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I'm having too much work done in the house. I can't focus. But I'm glad it's happening. It needs to happen. But there's that. I had to come live. I'm glad I did. I had been waiting for them since 10 o'clock this morning. Now they're finally doing work. So I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed day. Be kind, be respectful, and have